When we talk about legislating morality, there are basically three areas to this. The first area you got to deal with is it constitutional? Is it constitutional to legislate morality? This is where you run into the church and state objection, okay? And other objections like don't impose your religion on me, okay? The second thing you have to deal with is it enforceable? You can't make people be good according to the objection. We tried it with prohibition, so don't even try and legislate morality, okay? That's the second area. The third area is it ethical? In other words, morality is relative, so don't impose your morality on me, and the government should remain neutral. I just took all those objections on the last page and put them in three basic categories. Is it constitutional, enforceable, and is it ethical? And then if I time this just right, we'll have absolutely no time for questions. Okay, that's our goal here. No. We'll have time for your questions, okay? So let's start here at point one. Is it constitutional? Is it constitutional? And a number of years ago, there was a senator from Massachusetts who ran for president. His name was John Kerry. You may remember him. He's still in the Senate. And while he was running for president, he said this on the issue of abortion. He said, I oppose abortion personally. I don't like abortion. I believe life does begin at conception. But I can't take my Catholic belief, my article of faith, and legislate it on a Protestant or a Jew or on an atheist. We have separation of church and state in the United States of America. Now, for many, that sounds good. It sounds right. I can't take my view and impose it on people who don't believe the way I do. That wouldn't be right. We have the separation of church and state. Now, if you look at this statement a little bit more closely, you'll see there are a number of problems with it. Let's take a look at the problems. First of all, he says, I believe life does begin at conception. Let me point out one factor here. What he believes is irrelevant. The truth is, life does begin at conception, as we'll get into in a future night. Basically, when a ovum is fertilized, when a male sperm and a female egg come together, you have a 100% unique genetically unique human being. That's not a matter of debate. And by the way, it's not above anybody's pay grade to know. Okay, this is very simple. Okay? It's not an article of faith. It has nothing to do with the separation of church and state. It has nothing to do with anyone's religion. It is just a pure scientific fact. So that's error number one in Kerry's statement. Error number two, my article of faith. Doesn't matter. It's not a matter of faith. It's a matter of scientific fact that this is a genetically unique human being. Then finally, when he says separation of church and state, that's irrelevant. As you'll see here in a minute, we're not talking about legislating anyone's religion. So let's take a look at it a little bit more clearly. Can anyone tell me what the First Amendment to the United States Constitution says? This is the interactive portion of the program. What does it say? Does anyone know? Well, and this is important now. What is the actual wording? We should know this. The actual wording is, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. There it is right there, right? Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Does anyone see the word separation, church, or state in there? No. Okay? Notice that's what the First Amendment does say, but here's what it does not say. It does not say that Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of morality. Is there a difference between religion and morality? What is the difference? There's a big difference we're about to see. In fact, the First Amendment does not prohibit legislating morality. It only prohibits legislating religion. Let me say that again. The First Amendment does not prohibit legislating morality. It only prohibits legislating religion. What is the difference between those two things? First of all, the separation of church and state is not the issue. The issue is not religion. The issue is morality. There's a difference. You see, religion has to do with our duty to God. Morality has to do with our duty to one another. There's nobody that I know of in the abortion debate on either side who's trying to tell people how, when, if to worship. That would be legislating religion. Nobody's trying to say, well, you have to worship this way, and you have to worship at this time, and you have to worship with these people, with this liturgy. No one's saying that. But you can't help telling people how they ought to treat one another. That's legislating morality, and all laws legislate morality. The only question is whose morality will be legislated. Just think about it. Every law declares one behavior right and the opposite behavior wrong. What's morality? It's about right and wrong. And every law says this behavior is right and this behavior is wrong. And everybody's trying to do that. Doesn't matter what side of the issue you're on. You say, oh, no, just the pro-life side's trying to impose its moral point of view. No, the pro-abortion side is too. Absolutely. How so? The pro-life side is trying to impose continued pregnancy on the mother. What's the pro-abortion side trying to do? They're trying to impose death on the baby whenever abortion is chosen. They're both impositions. Also, the pro-abortion side is imposing no choice on the father. Father has no choice. No choice on the parents without parental consent laws. No choice by the state. The state has no right to get involved. By the way, that's not a neutral position, is it? It gives absolute power to the woman. That's not neutral. That treats the baby as if the baby's not a baby. The baby's just a piece of garbage. It's not religion. Now, there may be positions consistent with what certain religions say, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily a religious argument, or you're imposing religion by saying that we ought to protect life. Atheists can be for life. You don't even need religion to know that it's wrong to kill an innocent human being. So, if we can't legislate principles consistent with the Bible, then we can't have laws against murder, rape, theft, or just about anything else. In fact, we would have virtually no criminal laws if we couldn't legislate principles consistent with the Bible. Because just about every one of them is in some way a derivative of the Ten Commandments. You'd have no criminal law, even speed limits. How so? What are speed limits for? What are they for? To protect the innocent. Speed limits are there to protect the driver from killing himself and also from killing other people. That's why they're there. All laws legislate a moral point of view. The only question is which moral point of view.